What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel. Live from FlightSim Gaming. Give me one sec here while we turn up some sounds. Beautiful. Second live stream here on the channel. We are flying in the FlightSim Studio E175 with Alaska SkyWest. We are sitting down on the ground here in beautiful Boise, Idaho. This is the Vertical Sim Boise International Airport, military base, whatever you want to call it. And we're heading over to Portland, Oregon. It's a real-world flight flown by SkyWest. I think the flight time is about 55 minutes or so. We are doing a return back to Boise, so the stream will probably be about a couple hours long. Hope everybody is doing well. You know, today I'm off work, so I decided to just maybe throw out a live stream and see where things take us. Sundays, I believe, are going to be our primary days of live streaming, but I decided to take the opportunity today. It's raining outside here where I live, so we're out here video gaming. The first live stream went pretty well. I can't complain. Things flowed pretty smoothly on that first live stream. A couple things that I would have done differently, but here we're on our second live stream here. I got some music we're going to be throwing up once we get to cruise altitude, kind of keep it pretty refreshed with what we're doing here, so we're not listening to wind sounds and things like that. But anyway, ladies and gents, let's jump inside. We're not flying on FlightSim today. No network. We're just, flying here within the simulator. There is no ATC at the moment on FlightSim. I tried to do over the week. I tried to do some practice flights on FlightSim. I only had one controller sitting on tower in Portland. That was pretty much it. So no need to hop in on FlightSim. Nobody's flying out here. Let's jump inside. Let's get this aircraft all fired up here. So first things first, I got the GPU connected. Let's go ahead and turn the aircraft on. And we'll throw in our nav light as well. Beautiful. Call up GSX. Let's get this aircraft loaded. Beautiful. Looks like GSX profile is working for this aircraft. We'll go ahead and request boarding. And we are SkyWest Airlines. Beautiful. We'll come down to the tablet here. And we're going to get yapped at by GSX if we don't open all of these doors. Once they open up, I'll go ahead and shut some of the doors that we're not using, such as these two. Beautiful. Now, for those of you just tuning in, if you guys don't know how to fly this aircraft, or those of you who do not know, I showcase this aircraft a lot on my channel. I love flying this aircraft. It's different. I'll kind of show you how we sort of set up the little tablet here and get our fuel and weight balances all loaded into the aircraft, because everything is done via SimBrief. Come over to Fit Details. We're going to go ahead and import the SimBrief flight plan. Today's call sign SkyWest 3465, and we're going Boise Air Terminal to Portland International. Beautiful. Go ahead and check that off. We are expecting to depart off a runway 10 right. Conditions are dry. Beautiful. It's going to be a flaps 2 departure. Go ahead and sync our weather information. The winds currently are 270 at 1. Some of you probably wondering why we're not departing off of runway 28. Aircrafts are still landing and departing off of runway 10 right, so we're just going to keep it current and real world. You're going to calculate, and then you're going to instantly load by clicking on this. You'll see the aircraft sort of dip down. That's how you know we're all loaded up. Then we'll come over to the manifest tab here. We're going to send to McDo. Hello, G Cook Scotland. Hey, how are you, brother? Thanks for joining the live stream today. Go ahead and send that off. And we got our V-speeds there and our trim. And then while that's doing its thing, you're going to see the FO McDo, or FMC, is going to be loading up. This one here will load up with it. This is a Vertical Sim Boise. Yes, indeed. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. Vertical Sim also just, I believe, they're releasing the Fort Lauderdale International Airport as well. We don't have a date and time yet. I'm looking forward to that so I can get rid of the, I think I have the Latin VFR version and I don't like it. So Vertical Sim, they just announced Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood International. I was actually there last year. Went up into the parking garage and did some plane spotting, which was pretty cool. It's all free. Plug in our Unicom frequency there, transponder. We're just going to go 3465. Beautiful. We'll come over to the route tab here. Destination. Kilo Papa Delta X-ray. Today's flight ID is SkyWest 3465. We'll plug that in the flight ID there. You cannot load up the flight plan without loading in your flight ID. Go ahead and send that off. Flight plan received. We'll go ahead and apply active. Very nice. So come over to the departure tab here. Runway 10 right. We are departing off of the SimBrief didn't give us a departure, so we're just going to pick the Boise 3 departure. Hey, Chris. Hey, no worries, brother. Thank you for joining the live stream. Kind of wish you were there on the you stayed to the end on the last one. This way you could have entered yourself into the draw. I know you were there. You hung out for the majority of the stream, so don't worry. We'll be doing some more giveaways. Look out for that. But thanks for joining. I know you're out there building Toyota and Lexuses down in Kentucky. So hats off to you, sir. Have a good day at work. Go ahead and apply that there. Come to the arrival tab here. We are expecting runway 28 left, the ILS 28 left approach. We're going to go, our approach trans is going to be Schaefer. It's on the Hood 4 transition and the the Hood 4 arrival on the Jotba transition. We're going to pass Mount Hood, which is pretty cool. We actually fly almost through it. So, lovely. We'll load that up. Beautiful. We'll come down to the flight plan page here. We'll just make sure that all our stuff looks good, and I believe it is. I've done this flight a couple times already. Perf Init tab here. Beautiful. Takeoff and landing fuel. It's actually taxi and I think it's just taxi fuel, if I'm not mistaken. Taxi fuel. We'll come over to the SimBrief information here. We got 163 kg. And apparently you slash that by 200, and we'll plug that in there. We'll come over to page number 2. Cruising up to 34,000 feet. The average winds is 254 at 30. Fantastic. Zero fuel weight, 27,804. 27,803 is estimated. Beautiful. And fuel, 3226. Fantastic. Come over to the takeoff data set. We'll derate, we'll do takeoff 2. ADIX, ref ECS will come on, and it's not going to be a flex takeoff. And the temperature in Boise, currently 24. Go ahead and enter that. Fantastic. Come over to the takeoff init page, page number 1. Runway heading is 098. And the current winds are 270 at 5. Beautiful. Come over to page number 2. Flaps 2 departure. If you want to change your flaps, you can do it there. We don't need to change it. It's already preset. And we'll plug in our V speeds. We got 123, 129, 143. BFS 183 and trims 3.5. Beautiful. Trims 3.5 is set. Lovely. We'll come over here to the climb tab here. Make sure transalt's 18,000 as well as the descent trans level. Fantastic. Auto brake over to RTO. Kind of have a process here when I'm loading up this aircraft. I do things very quick. Auto throttle can come on. Set this guy. I like to set this now at the gates. Some guys do it at the runway. We have, let's see here, altimeter 29er, 9er 3. We'll set that in there. We got to go 183 on the speed. And our heading is 098. 098. Beautiful. Initial climb. We'll look at the departure in a second, but it says top alt is flight level 160. Let's go ahead and plug that up. Beautiful. Go ahead and start up that APU. think all of our passengers have already boarded up. Looks like just the bags are loading up there. G-Cook Scotland says, this is one of the few sceneries I don't have from Vertical Sim. I find their early sceneries to be pretty average compared to their newer stuff, which has put me off getting this. Totally understand. Not a lot of people fly this airport. I don't know why. It's not a bad scenery. You know, again, it's also Boise, Idaho. There's really not much going on out here. But it's not a terrible scenery. Still Vertical Sim. Let's go ahead and get rid of the GPU. Beacon light can come on. Electric pump A can come on. And let's open up Navigraph. This is basically our departure. Runway heading, it says climb to 16,000 or lower assigned altitude on the Boise radial 0908, top out 16,000. Expect radar vectors to assign route. Expect filed altitude 10 minutes after departure. We're going to go ahead, depart runway heading, and then we're going to make a right turn. Probably right turn 278 to our first waypoint. The winds are currently calm. Temperature 26, altimeter 299.3. And yeah, pretty standard departure there. And yaw dampener, we'll get that on. Beautiful. Let's come over to GSX. Let's go ahead and request pushback.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback.
Yeah, not a lot of people like to fly this aircraft, and I understand why. It's still in beta. But, you know, this is, I've mentioned this before, this is an aircraft I keep in my back pocket at all times. I love flying it. I think the flight model is probably one of the best flight models out there. I can't speak for some of the systems that are available right now for this aircraft. A lot of the systems are still under development. But, you know, for, I think it's like $40. The price might be a little steep to some people too, right? Considering it's beta. Definitely, this aircraft has improved over the last year and a half. I think it was released January 2023. So, it's had a shit ton of updates. I wish more people would fly it. Hey, Jared, what's going on, brother? Thanks, man. Appreciate you coming out, man, Jared. "17 minutes, we are all loaded up." That's record time here. We're going to go ahead and push back. Quick edit pushback. Let me see if it saved my last one. I don't think it did. And I believe it did.
Exiting from editing mode. Please wait.
Release parking brakes.
Parking brakes.
Commencing push.
Coming off.
All engines clear.
Now, I don't know SkyWest's real ops. I don't know if engine 1 or 2, which ones are started first. We're going to go ahead, engine number 1. G-Cook Scotland. I've had all of the FlightSim Studio E-Jets. I love them. Yeah, man, this is, people are sitting on this aircraft. I don't know why. You know, it's perfectly flyable. You know, I like to, you know, there's no there's no VNAV. That's the biggest thing. And the VNAV isn't really a big deal. You can still fly the aircraft without the VNAV, you know. You just got to know how to do it. Right? You just got to know how to do it. So, Ivan, good day, sir. How are you? Thanks for coming out. Doing some FlightSim Studio E-Jet ops.
Set parking brakes. Unlocking gear.
Engine number 2. Let's get it going.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass bin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Two good engines, beautiful. Let's come back upstairs here. Let's go ahead, shut off that APU. Taxi lights, side lights can go. I think side lights go on. I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. Flaps 2, I think. Here's another thing that they have to sort of fix. The animation of the flaps, you can see, is very stuttery. Beautiful. Flaps are down. Flaps 2 indicated. Jared, today's flight is approximately 55 minutes. Short flight over to Portland. They do this flight, I think, a few times a day. I think block time's about an hour and 20 minutes, but air time about 55 minutes. So we're going to be passing through. So the approach into Portland is pretty cool. We're going to be, it's on the hoods for RNAV arrival. So we're going to actually fly right beside Mount Hoods. I believe it's called Mount Hoods. Or Mount Hood or something. It's fantastic. So, I wish, some more, flight streamers would sort of showcase some of these other things. Even Portland, the Portland airport that we're going to is pretty good scenery as well. I forget who it's flown by. I believe I got all the info down in the description down below. But it's a pretty cool approach going into Portland as we fly, past the mountains. So, let's open up Navigraph once again. We'll have a look at our taxi routing. Zoom out of here. So we've just pushed back from Charlie 6. We're taxiing to runway 10 right. So it looks like we're going to taxi... looks like we're going to taxi Alpha Juliet, hold short of 10 right. Go ahead and clear that. Beautiful. Park and brake coming off.
Take off, okay.
Take off, okay. But, G-Cook, if you're still in the chat, purchase this scenery when it's on sale. Highly recommend. Like I said, there's not much out here. Again, this is Boise, Idaho, right? But it's still not a bad scenery. See if I can showcase some things here. Terminal doesn't look too bad. Ground textures are, they're okay, I noticed my auto throttle kicked off. I'm not sure why. There we go. This aircraft loves to roll down the taxiway. G-Cook, I can't wait for Fort Lauderdale to be released, man. We could do so many flights out of Fort Lauderdale, some Spirit ops. You know, you can fly some of the ATRs out of there. I know they do some ops to the Bahamas. I believe Silver Airways has the ATRs flying out of there. So many flights you can do. Let's see what level of detail they bring to this one, though. We're going to continue down Juliet. We'll hold short of 10 right. Right, ladies and gents, lights, strobe lights, inspection lights going on. Winds are calm. Clear for takeoff, runway 10 right. Throttle's up 40%. Ladies and gents, let's get on out of here. Takeoff, thrust set. Pitch down. Winds are calm. Should be a pretty straightforward departure on out of here. Check. Rotate. Positive rate of climb. Gear going up. And we're just going to follow our heading here. We're in heading mode. Beautiful. And flight level change. Beautiful rotation, ladies and gents. Let's go ahead. Laps 1. We'll go flaps up. we're going to bug up 250 on the speed. Go ahead and stick autopilot on. Let's get some views here. Garen Vanderpool, is the FSS E175 worth it? Brother, that's all I fly on this channel. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Best flight model in my opinion. Let's go ahead and start that right turn. We're going to go heading 278. I love this aircraft. I love the E190. You know, it was an aircraft in the very beginning. Oh, by the way, let's go back here. It was an aircraft in the very beginning that wasn't, you know, all that great. Heading 260 is set. But they have updated it. They've updated the shit out of this aircraft. It's missing VNAV. You know, that's something that a lot of people want. They want VNAV. You don't need it. You know, if you stay tuned, you want to continue to watch this this live stream on the approach in about 40 minutes time. I'll kind of show you what I do to help get the aircraft down on the ground. But yeah, definitely worth it in my opinion. 10,000 feet. Go ahead and kill. Let's kill some of our lights here. We're going to go ahead and bug up 290 on the speed. And let's continue to climb out 34,000 feet. I don't know about virtual Cole E175. I haven't flown it. FlightSim Studios, you know, the reason why I decided to go with FlightSim Studios was because the scenery that they make for the simulator, in my opinion, is still pretty good. So I kind of use that as a, I guess, as the reason that I've purchased the aircraft. I understand. I know what beta testing is. I know what all that is. I knew what I was getting into. But yeah, I wanted something fresh and different. So for me, the FlightSim Studios E-Jets is probably my favorite. I don't see anybody flying the virtual Cole E175, to be honest with you. So, you know, I don't know. But again, this aircraft is going to be not a high fidelity aircraft, but it's going to be pretty good. Let's come down here, and we're going to go direct sail, and we're going to switch over to nav. There's some bugs, Garen. I don't know if you've. What are you in the market for an E-Jets aircraft? Is that, there you go? So G Cook, have you purchased the virtual Cole E175? I know nothing about it, to be honest with you. I know nothing about it, so. Now, I didn't buy this aircraft when it first came out. I bought this aircraft probably, I would say, when did I go to Florida? I think it was July last year. Probably 7 months after it came out. So 7 months worth of updates. Transitioning from Xbox to laptop. Yeah, you know, that's the one of the things with Microsoft Flight Simulator on Xbox. You guys are limited to the content and the stuff that you guys can get. So there you go. So Garen, there's your answer right there. G Cook says he's got both aircraft, and he says FlightSim Studios is miles better. So from what I hear, I also hear the same. So by the way, ladies and gents, how's the sound? How's the sound? Is the sound too loud? Is it too low? Garen, if you're still if you still want to wait a little bit on the purchase of the FlightSim Studio E175, you can. I know they're coming out with a the FMC. I think in the summertime they're going to beta test it. I don't have a stream schedule yet either. I just started streaming last Sunday. I was talking about it last year on my channel that I was going to stream in 2024, and I took a hiatus, I guess you could say, at the beginning of the year, and I didn't post any content, roughly until May. I started doing it again. But right now it's looking like Sundays for sure. Sundays probably around 1 p.m. Eastern, between 12 and 2 p.m. sometime on Sundays. So I'm just still testing out some waters here. This is all still new to me, right? So today I'm off work today. I don't work, so this is why I decided to take the opportunity to come out and fly. 18,000 feet. Standard pressure is set. Voice is loud and clear. Airplane sounds are quiet. I lowered the sounds for the gameplay, so I just turned it back up. Let me know how that sounds. By the way, this is a wing view. You're not going to see, or you're not going to hear much of the engines. If I go this view, you should be able to hear the sounds. So. As we get up to cruise, I'm going to throw some tunes on. Hopefully they're non-copyrighted music. I believe they are. They're from Epidemic Sounds, but we'll see what happens. Can't play any tunes on here if you don't have licensing, I guess, what do they call it, approvals or whatever from the artists, so... That's probably really loud. So what I would do here is I would go ahead and lower probably to about 15 on this view. Again, still kind of playing with the live stream, it's something I'm gonna have to adjust to, but I won't stay in this view forever. Going up on 24,000 feet. Got a bit of a ways to go here. A lot of desert out here in the western part of the United States. Plane livery is not that bad. Yeah, this is Alaska SkyWest. They operate a lot of these aircraft out here on the west coast. Not going to see many of them in the east coast. Alaska Airlines does fly all throughout the United States, but as Horizon Air or Alaska SkyWest, yeah, you'll see them out here on the west coast. I believe one of their hubs is Seattle-Tacoma International. Don't forget, ladies and gents, if you're enjoying the live stream, go ahead and smash down that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Always appreciate that. We're always out here flying the FlightSim Studio E-Jets. Love this aircraft. It's, like I said, one of the ones that I fly the most of, along with the obviously the 737 and the A320. But I fly the E175 more than I fly the E190 or 195 aircraft. I have just preference. But I recommend the Horizon A319. I already purchased the LFVR A319 on Xbox. I believe the Horizon mod, if that's what you're referring to, is a mod for that aircraft to make it better, if I'm not mistaken. I see who flies that a lot. I believe it's XP flies the Horizon mod Latin VFR aircraft. So you know, you can check out his streams. I don't fly anything Latin VFR. To be honest, I don't like their stuff. You know, I don't like the scenery. Not my take out here in the FlightSim community. It's not top quality stuff. They don't ever update anything. But the Horizon mod fixes a lot of the issues that Latin VFR did not fix. And I believe Emmanuel from A330 Driver, he loves flying the A321 from Latin VFR, and he sticks their Horizon mod on that. Now, Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken, is coming out with an A319. And that's going to be study level, or high fidelity, as well as an A321. But if you want my personal opinion, anything from Latin VFR, I don't recommend. Everybody has a difference of opinion. That's just my opinion. Captain Shark, welcome to the stream. Hey bro, how do you have your Bravo set up for the reverse thrust? I can't figure out how to set it up to where you pull back the levers to the D10 stop for full reverse. I didn't set up my my Bravo throttles for this aircraft. Literally, when I purchased this aircraft originally, I just loaded up, and you know, just the basic default settings of it seem to have worked. I don't have any real information for you on that. Like I said, everything's just sort of manual. I could probably maybe later on show you what my settings are in the simulator. But as far as in the aircraft, yeah, I'm under profile 1, but nothing. I didn't calibrate anything. Just fresh out of the box, took this thing out of the box, set it up, went flying. That's really about it. Do you have to repurchase marketplace items on laptop that I bought on Xbox, like aircraft and scenery? I don't know. For some reason, I want to say no, because I believe it's linked. But that would be something that you would probably have to contact Microsoft or Sobel for. But I believe, so the game I purchased on Steam, and it uses my Xbox account, obviously, to play the simulator. So I would assume it's linked, which that would make sense. This way you don't have to rebuy everything. I'd be pissed off if I had to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some tunes on here. Let's go ahead and lower these sounds here. Hopefully the music's not too loud. I don't know, Garen. I believe there's 2 options you can purchase the simulator. I believe there's Steam is one, and then there's a marketplace or something like that. You could probably, Garen, you could probably go to something like FS 2020 discussions. You can look up some discussions that's up on that website, and I'm sure they have answers to all the things that you want to have answered. I don't have Xbox, so I don't know. I've always sort of had the computer. As a matter of fact, I came from PlayStation, and I had seen in 2019 that this simulator was coming out, and I had to buy it. So I bought this computer specifically for this. Cabin tour. Let's see if I can do that. I think I can go in here. My keybinds are a little twitchy. But yeah. Not a bad little cabin. I gotta configure my binds here, but yeah, there's a cabin here with this aircraft, you know. There's a cabin. Let's come back up here. Let me reset this shit. Beautiful. About to do an A320 Phoenix flight Toronto to Halifax for Air Canada Rouge to test out the new passenger seating feature for GSX. Hope my FPS doesn't tank. I haven't updated GSX yet, so I don't know, but I do know that they just released that feature, so that's pretty cool. Uh-oh. That didn't sound too good. Coming up on 34,000 feet. So yeah, I know I have to descend about 25 miles from Jotba. That's how I did my calculation. I like to descend on a 3-degree flight angle. Flight path angle. Basically what you got to do is whatever altitude you're currently at, which I'm at 34,000 feet, you have to subtract by the altitude that you need to be at, which I'll pull up the approach information and show you I need to be at 9,000 feet. So that'll leave me 25,000 feet that I need to sort of clear. You'll multiply 25,000 by 3, and you get a number at 75,000. So 75 nautical miles before that restriction of 9,000 feet. I need to start my descent, if that makes any sense. I'll pull up Navigraph here. I'll kind of explain what I mean by all that. So we're on the Hood 4R and I have arrival. Jotba is our transition. So at waypoint Hood, you got to be between 9 and 15,000 feet. I know I got to be at 9,000 feet. I'll be fine as we come across this mountain here. That's how I sort of calculate my my vertical descent. I don't use flight level change or vertical speed or any of that. I specifically use the flight path angle. Aircrafts typically descend at a 3-degree angle, so kind of makes sense for me. But I haven't flown the E175 in months. I've updated the aircraft twice since then. Great to see you giving the E-Jets some much needed attention. I love this aircraft, Captain Shark. This is one I keep in my back pocket always, always, always. You don't need VNAV, you know, like it's not like I'm flying transatlantic with this thing. You do, you know, short ops flights with this, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours max. So everything works, you know, everything works. One of the things that I wish this aircraft sort of had, we should have had sort of the constraint information in here. This would kind of help with flying on FlightSim. Obviously, Garrett, it's it's a business, obviously, right? I don't know why they wanted to release the E190, 195. Obviously, they want to release all the variants. I hope they release some of the E2 engines as well. But I mean, pretty much the aircraft, in my opinion, is like 80%. We're just missing a proper FMC. You know, maybe some VNAV. I don't even know if I'm even going to use the VNAV. We'll see. But, I mean, I don't know. It's nice to have, too, right? We don't have no other developers created these aircraft. So, it's just a nice to have. I preferably like the E175 over the E190. That's just my personal opinion. I like to sneak this aircraft into, you know, some spicy situations, you know. One flight that I haven't done yet. I want to fly Miami to Dominicana with American Airlines. They fly this aircraft in there, do the jungle approach with it. I've done the jungle approach in an ATR on the channel. I don't remember where I flew from. Crazy approach. Can't believe they fly jets through that. I mean, look at this terrain out here, ladies and gents. I agree, Captain Shark. The CRJ, you know, it's a good little aircraft. Out of the two, you know, they do give you a top of descent marker. Right, it doesn't have, I guess, VNAV. It's got a top of descent marker. I do enjoy flying it. Problem is, Aerosoft isn't like, they're not updating that aircraft, right? And for me, that's, you know, that's a big issue. I want, you know, if I'm investing in your stuff, I want you to at least update the aircraft. They haven't updated it in like 3 years, right? They've talked about updating it, but they just haven't done that. And there's a lot of things that, you know, it needs to be fixed with that aircraft. One of them, in my opinion, is the ground handling. I don't like it at all. I don't like taking off in that thing. But that's a nice little aircraft. If you want your hands full, highly recommend getting that aircraft as well. It's a spicy little aircraft. You're always doing something. It doesn't have auto throttle. This aircraft is a bit easier to fly because it has auto throttle. What FMC is this plane using? It's way better than Virtual Coal. Is it way better than Virtual Coal? Virtual Coal uses default Asobo. Yes. So this is not an A320 Neo FMC. That's right there a plus in my opinion for FlightSim Studios. It's the actual FMC that will be in the aircraft. I don't know the Honeywell. It's a Honeywell FMC, but it's an Asobo one, so it's not custom yet. They use Asobo stuff. They are developing their FMC right now. A fully customized FMC is currently in development, and I believe the beta releases will be released this summer, and if I'm not mistaken, a full release will be released hopefully by the end of the year. About 50 miles out from top of descent. Let's come down here. Let's go ahead and load in our, I guess, our landing information. So the winds currently are 270 at 4, so we're going to land 28 left. We have our runway heading is 283. Landing temp is 19 degrees. We're going to do a flaps 5 landing, and the winds are 270 at 4. Beautiful. We're doing a flaps 5 landing, and there's our V-speeds up in there. Beautiful. So like I said, about 25 miles from Joppa, we're going to start our descent. Let's open up Navigraph once again. We'll have a look at our arrival. So we're on the Hoods 4R nav arrival into Portland, and Joppa's our transition. So we're going to come from Joppa. We're going to follow pretty much this path here. We're going to pass on the... I don't know, on the left side of our wing, you're going to see Mount Hood. It's a really tall-ass mountain. It's out there somewhere. It's pretty cool, actually. And we're going to descend down to 9,000 feet. And then basically we're going to go over to Schaefer, and then it's radar vectors. This aircraft, like I said, because it has a Asobo FMC, on this approach, it gets a little bit spicy. It doesn't really follow the the navigation properly, but we'll figure it out. It's going to go direct hipster. It's not even going to go to Shaver. It's going to go just before, I think at Bill Run, it's going to start making a left-hand turn and try to get itself sort of on final approach. But basically, this is kind of how it's supposed to look. So we're going to come from Schaefer to Ready, and then hipster, and then descend on down. Pretty straightforward. The winds are 270 at 4. Visibility 10 miles. Fuel clouds 25,000 feet. It's 19 degrees. Altimeter 299.6. Pretty straightforward. You want to start your descent planning about 50 miles out. So we have it's like about 30 miles to go here. Hans Hartmann, the dev, has publicly stated that he is and will update the CRJ, especially since he's released the ATR. When that day comes is anybody's guess. I know. I think I've read on the Aerosoft forums that there was an update in progress in like 2022 from Aerosoft. I don't know if that's from Hans Hartmann, but I don't know. I fly it on this channel. It's not like I don't. Can you do a route suggestion? Phoenix A320, Allegiant, Vertical Sim, KPIE to KROA. We can definitely look into it. Garen. Vertical Sim makes I don't even know what KPIE is, to be honest with you, but what about KROA? Is there scenery for that airport? Look at the terrain out here. Holy fuck. Pardon the language. G Cook, are you using the new Bing mod or default? This is all default. I don't have any modded ortho here, other than I believe I have Rex Acu Season. I don't know if it's enabled on this flight or not. I can't remember if I disabled it, but that's really about it. That's just more for, like, I guess how the scenery looks. But this is default. We'll go ahead and kill the music for the time being. Go ahead and turn up some sounds. As we are coming up on our top of descent, about 20 miles. We got some time. We are doing a return flight back over to Boise. I haven't done a practice flight out of Portland yet. I don't know what kind of departures they have. Hopefully, it's a nice RNAV approach or RNAV departure. Sorry, keeps the load down a little bit. You know what I mean? Beautiful day for flying, ladies and gents. Going to be a short stream here. Like I said, it's flight time's about 55 minutes, so we will be doing a return. Won't be doing no real long hauls, but hey, let's practice. Let's see if this aircraft will properly load itself for its turnaround. I don't know if it's going to work. I think the last time I tried, the airplane crashed on me, so I had to restart the sim. About 10 miles out. Beautiful. And you can see Mount Hood out there in the distance. We are going to fly right beside it. It's pretty cool. It's like 12,000 feet or something like that. Couple things I can start setting up in here. So we have our minimums 306. 310. Beautiful. Final approach course 283. You can preview your courses here so you can set them. I love that. Beautiful. 28 miles out. We have our ILS frequency 110.5. I believe it would auto-tune, but let's go ahead and we'll plug her in. 26 miles out. Let's go ahead and start our descent. FPA 3 degrees. We're descending down to 9,000 feet, ladies and gents. 9,000 feet on this beautiful... This is a freaking nice flight. There's KROA scenery, FlightSim.to. Is it freeware or payware, Garen? For me, it has to be, if it's freeware, it has to be really good freeware scenery. But definitely I will, you know, have a look at the end of the stream. Because I do like to do viewer requests. St. Petersburg Clearwater International. You're saying vertical sim? Oh, they did release one. Very nice. I've been to St. Petersburg before. I went in 2011. Beautiful place. I love Florida. We travel to Florida pretty frequently. Last year we were in Miami. We went all over. We went to Disney with the kids, went to Orlando. We went to Key West. I'm actually in the process of... this year we're not going to do a vacation. But next year I'm thinking just Key West. Key West for 2 straight weeks. I believe FlightSim TO has, I believe you could buy some stuff off of there as well. St. Petersburg is Vertical Sim's newest. Yeah, it does look good. I got a lot of Florida scenery. I got, I think, everything in South Florida I have, other than this St. Petersburg. You name it, I got it. Let's jump inside the cockpit. Let's make sure the aircraft is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Beautiful. Everything's looking normal. We do have some altitude and speed restrictions. I believe once we hit up Hood, we gotta be at 250. No, Rabi, we gotta be at 270. Lots of time. So Garen, there is a there's a payware. I think it's Renoki. Is that how Renok? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. There is a payware version of it, made by Skyline Simulations. I don't know much about them, but it doesn't look terrible. Probably look at purchasing that. Let me see this FlightSim TO one. So the FlightSim TO one is It's not available, but it is by Skyline Simulations. Definitely would have to look into that. This airport doesn't look too bad. And I'm assuming Allegiant, they do this is like a real world flight, Garen? Beautiful. Yeah, I'll definitely look into it. 100%. G Cook, I do from time to time. VATSIM, I've flown on VATSIM for about 3 years. I started using Beyond ATC. It's not bad. The thing with VATSIM, you know, at the time that I was recording some of the videos, there were no ATC online. You know, depending on what time I get home from work and whenever I decide to put out some content, I just kind of get put into that situation. Right now, I don't think there's even anybody online for the route that we're doing. And if I load up VATSIM, there's a chance that the frames will be less. Let me see. Yeah, Beyond ATC is not bad. You know, it's better in the United States than it is anywhere else in the world. I started out Beyond ATC flying in Turkey. I was having issues with phraseology and, you know, their like the language and stuff. It was a little bit tricky. So it doesn't look like right now there's even any controllers online on VATSIM, so I'd rather not fly it just to, like I said, keep the performance down in the simulator. Yeah, Beyond ATC is it's pretty good for people who are just starting out and who don't feel confident with flying on a network. So, but it works, man. It's not, and they update it too, so can't even knock that. Coming up on transition here, let's go ahead and set 2996. Beautiful. VATSIM is okay, you know, it's, depends sort of where you're flying, what you're doing. You know, if I'm on VATSIM, it's usually in Canada. When I'm flying any flight to or from Toronto, I'll be on VATSIM. Yeah, the accents, you can change it though. You don't have to use international accents. But yeah, I just find that when I was getting clearance out in Turkey, I wasn't getting a proper clearance. You know, they were just saying, they weren't saying clear to whatever. It was just, they were giving me my altitude, not my altitude assignment, my departure clearance assignment, and a squawk number. That was pretty much it. But when you're flying in the United States or in Canada with Beyond ATC, it works flawlessly. Bring the speed down, 270. Yes, you can use Beyond ATC, Garen, for any flight in the world. Doesn't mean that it's going to be the smoothest ATC you're going to get. Like I said, there's some issues flying in some other countries. But I can't see that if you don't fly from St. Petersburg to Roanoke, that the Beyond ATC program will be bad. I don't think it's going to be. It's like talking to when you're flying in the United States, talking to Beyond ATC is like talking to a VATSIM controller. That's how smooth it is. always got to double check what the aircraft's doing. This aircraft can be buggy at times. Rabby, we had to be, I think, above 13,000, which we do. Hood, so we're descending down to 9,000 feet. At Hood, we got to be at 250 knots. All is looking well. We'll just double check our landing information here. So we have final approach course 283, it's 19 degrees. The winds are 274, beautiful. And looks like VAP is going to be 131 plus 5. Speed back down 250. Ladies and gents, if you're just joining the stream, I want to take the time to thank you guys for coming out. Don't do this too often. I'm new to this live streaming thing, but definitely something we're doing in the future. Look at that mountain. Beautiful. Coming up on 10,000 feet. We got the speed coming back. So at Hood, we got to be 250 knots and between 9,000 and 15,000, I believe. And I'll continue our descent. We're going to go down to 6,700 feet. And you're going to see some of the limitations with this aircraft. So we're flying this approach. It's going to get a little bit choppy somewhere in along here. But it's fine. The aircraft will sort of do its own thing. So let's come upstairs. Let's get the rest of our lights on. And I believe at Schaefer, we got to be at 210. We're actually going to roll it back to 210 right now. Peter T, wow, amazing. What's going on, Peter? Thanks for joining the live stream today. Greatly appreciate that. Yes, wow, amazing. This is crazy that all this shit's in the simulator. I'm still, 4 years this game has been out, and I'm still amazed by how the scenery looks. I'm a little disappointed with some parts of the world that Asobo hasn't developed yet. Asia needs some love, South Asia. But yeah, the simulator amazes me every time. Prior to posting this live stream, I believe on Monday or Tuesday, I never flown this route before. It's that Superman. Not sure what you're referencing, but no, definitely not Superman. This approach is pretty sick. I'm not even gonna lie. All this mountain. We're gonna keep an eye on the aircraft here. We're coming up on 8,000 feet, 6,700 feet for Schaefer. From there, I believe we're descending down to 3,700. That's where we're gonna cap the glide slope. They've also, so that little chime you heard, that means we're coming up to our indicated altitude, or selected altitude. They've changed that chime. It sounds much more realistic. Pretty close to the terrain here, but don't worry. I got this whole VNAV thing figured out pretty good. I'm flying this aircraft about a year now. So yeah, I got this VNAV thing What mountain is this? Anybody know in the chat? Curious to know what mountain that is. I'm pretty sure that was, see, here we go. So this is what I'm talking about. We are going to go direct hipster. We'll let the aircraft sort of do its thing. I can start descending down 3,700 feet. And we're going to go FPA. It's what I use. And we're going to go 3 degrees on that. Nice it. What's going on, brother? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you. Buddy, Microsoft FlightSim is just a whole different thing. You know, it's, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator, brother. Go ahead and preview our Yoke. We can actually, very soon, we'll go ahead and put it in VL, and then we'll hit approach mode. One thing I noticed, sometimes have to come to this side of the aircraft, and you just got to make sure, sometimes when you go into Yoke mode, it doesn't pick it up, because this side's in Yoke 1 while you're trying to be in Yoke 1, so. I'll actually go ahead and get it all set up right now. We're in Yoke 1. I'm going to hit approach. It says we're about 23 miles out. Beautiful. Crazy. Alright, I'm going to stop playing around with the camera views here. Let's go ahead and make sure the aircraft is doing what it's doing. Yoke is coming in. Not yet, actually. And let's go ahead, we'll sync our heading. Final approach course 283. So another bug with this aircraft, you can see the Yoke is on the right side. That's not accurate. Technically the Yoke should be on the left side, but again, some limitations with this aircraft. These bugs will be fixed. These bugs will be fixed. I don't know what this does. When I click that, it doesn't do anything. Looks like Yoke is coming alive right now. We're just going to reference our VAP speed, 131 plus 5. Beautiful. Just to confirm, the winds are 270 at 4. Should make for a, I'm not going to say textbook landing because I don't want to put pressure on myself. We're waiting for that Yoke to come alive. This should flip around in a second here. This is just bugged out. Glide slope coming in. And there's Yoke coming alive. Beautiful. 14 miles out. One of the challenges at the beginning of when this aircraft was released was getting the Yoke to work properly. So this is a custom Yoke or glide slope system that they've built for this aircraft. This is not any Asobo stuff. This is all custom. Glide slope coming alive. So go ahead. Flaps 1. Plug the speed down. 190. And missed approach altitude, I believe, is 4,000. Go ahead and plug that in there. We'll go flaps to 170. Let's come upstairs, get the rest of our lights on. About 9 miles out. Go ahead, flaps 3. And gear coming down. Go 160 on the speed there. I like to get the aircrafts set up nice and early, about 5 miles out. We're about 7 miles right now. Anyway, we're going flaps 4, 150 on the speed. And flaps 5, 136. Beautiful. About 1,000 feet before I'll go ahead and take control. And again, another beautiful approach coming into Portland. Who would have known how... Yeah, guys, if you guys are from Portland, or if you've been out here, I just want to know, is this realistic? Is this how Portland looks? Is it green like this? Alright, let's focus, ladies and gents. Gear down, 3 green, flaps 5 is indicated. We got all of our lights on here. Take controls at 1,000 feet. And my controls, ladies and gents. And hopefully I don't kill ourselves. I like to trim the aircraft at about 5.5 of trim. This aircraft, in my opinion, I love how this aircraft flies. It feels really good. Showing 2 whites, 2 reds, coming in beautifully, a little bumpy. It says Geese is already running. I don't see my landing rate monitor up here, but let's see if we get something. That's why I went a little off. Went a little off there. Continue. First coming out. Not the cleanest landing. 60 knots. Auto brake coming off. My landing rate monitor never showed up. It's okay. I'll get it back up for the next flight. Anyways, ladies and gents, welcome down to Portland. I'll take that. We'll vacate off to the right. We'll clean up the flaps here. Let's go to GSX. We're looking for Charlie 4. Thanks, Ivan. Not a clean touchdown. I was looking for geese to open up on that approach there, but whatever. We made it. We're going over to the Charlie gates over here. This is where the real-world aircraft, I guess, boards from. And there's some static aircraft here. Some Southwest aircraft and some Alaskan jets. One of the things, too, with landing this aircraft, on touchdown, this aircraft always sounds like it lands hard. It's got like a loud thud to it, even though it's like, you know, essentially a butter. A lot of Southwest aircraft here. This aircraft, I don't know if Southwest is supposed to be here. I would imagine it is, considering it's modeled in the scenery. We're looking for Charlie 4. Let's go ahead and kill those lights. Captain Shark, this is static aircraft at the airport, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead and park it there. Pew is alive and well. We'll go ahead and kill the engines. And we'll go ahead and deboard. This thing's going to yap at us, so let's come over here. And electric pump is coming off. Beacon light coming off. Go ahead and get that. We'll get that GPU plugged in and on. We'll go ahead and kill that. Beautiful. For those wondering what all that glitching is, that's the frame gen mod that I have. It does that from time to time. But anyways, ladies and gents, let's go ahead and deboard the aircraft here. We'll get some tunes on, and then we'll get ourselves loaded up momentarily. Stay tuned, ladies and gents.
Still remember how you sound and the way you calm me down when we went behind the bar, taking what we thought was ours. I was wasted, it was late, but I knew I met my fate. You were all I've waited for, guess I can wait a little more. ask you what's your name, and the fun we had is to blame. There was just no time for small talk. I was busy in your arms, love, frustrated to this day. You're the one that got away, and you took my heart with you. Now I don't know what to do. Yeah, it was just one of those nights when it's better than in all the movies, perfectly aligned. I fell into you and you into me. Just one of those nights when you wake up after thinking it's a dream. Now it's just a memory. I've been waiting for your call ever since that summer. Waiting for your call. No, you know my number. Waiting for your call. Winter, summer, spring, or fall. I'll be waiting for your call. I'll be waiting for your call.
think the boarding is all done here. How you guys liking the music? I'm loving the music. New call sign up top. SkyWest 3362 4-hour return leg back to Boise. Want to thank everybody for their continued support here on the channel. Got some viewers here in the chat. Really appreciate y'all. Without y'all, none of this couldn't happen. I guess let's get the aircraft all set up here. Go ahead and kill off the music there. Let's get our sounds back up. Beautiful. Go up to GSX. Let's go ahead and reload it. Let's see what it do. Beautiful.
Boarding requested.
Now, I don't know. Hey, Jared, what's going on, brother? You loving the music? I appreciate it, man. Epidemic Sound Cloud. I gotta learn how to speak slower. It's free, non-copyrighted music. Well, it's not free, essentially. You gotta pay for it. We're getting yapped at again. Yeah, let's see what this aircraft does on the turn. I don't know. I've never actually properly done one. We'll come back upstairs here. Let's get some of this stuff on. And we will come down to fit details. Go ahead, clear that. We're going to add another one. Import. Portland International to Boise Air Terminal, Gowan Field. SkyWest 3362. Real world flight, ladies and gents. Real world flight. We're expecting to depart off runway 28 right. Conditions are dry. It's a flaps 2 departure. We'll go ahead and grab some weather information. Looks like the winds are 280 at 10. I don't think they're 280 at 10. I think it's like 280 at 7 or 4. We'll go ahead, calculate, and instantly load that. Come over to manifest here. We got all our info. Let's go ahead and send that off. You can see the aircraft doing some weird shit there. Let's see what happens when I change all of this. Again, I've never done a turnaround. I don't know how well this is going to work. We are SkyWest 3362. We'll go ahead and put that in our flight ID. We'll send that off. And let's go ahead and apply that. Looks like flight plan has been received. 1 second, ladies and gents. Flight plan has been received. Okay, let's continue on here. We're going over to the departure tab here. We're departing off of runway 28 right on the Whammy 4. And I believe it's the Kimberly transition. Go ahead and apply that. Beautiful. We are expecting the ILS 10 right approach. The ILS Yankee 10 right approach. I believe our approach trans is going to be Jimmy. Jimmy. Beautiful. Key in 4. And I believe it's Devil transition. And we'll apply that. Beautiful. Now I'm just going to review my flight plan here. I just want to make sure it's not all fucked up. And it looks like everything's loaded in beautifully. That's what I like. Okay, over to the Perfinite tab here. Our taxi fuel. We have, that's 163. / 200. Come over to page number 2. We are cruising up 35,000 feet. The average wind's 256 at 27. Zero fuel weight, 28,343 is estimated. Beautiful, that's looking good. Fuel, 3278. Perfect, spot on. Takeoff data set. All this looks good. Let's look at our temperature in Portland. It's 21. Go ahead and enter that. We'll come over to the takeoff init page here. Runway heading, I believe, is, what did I say, was 283? And the winds are 280 at 9. It is dry. We don't need to worry about anything else. Let's plug in some numbers here. We got 24, 30, and 43. And the VFS 185 trims 3.5. Make sure that's all plugged in. Make sure our transition outs look good. Beautiful. 3.5 on the trim. That all looks fantastic. Altimeter 29995. Let's go ahead and plug that in. Um, 185 on the speed. I think we're done boarding, ladies and gents. And heading 283. And our initial climb, so initially they would probably give me, I think it's flying, I was doing this flight on FlightSim, I think it was 7,000 feet. Trying to see here, what will I give myself? Will I give myself 7,000? Fuck it, we're not on any type of ATC network, we'll just go up 35,000 feet. Beautiful. Let's come back upstairs here. Let's get the APU on. Apparently this APU sound is as real as it gets. APU 100%, beautiful. Go ahead and get rid of that. Come over to the ground here. GPU is gone. Electric pump A coming on. Red beacon light can come on, and then we're just boarding is complete. Beautiful. Let's go over to GSX. Prepare for push. Let's get on out of here, ladies and gents.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback. Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Peter T has subscribed. Sorry, buddy. The feed came up 22 minutes ago. I don't know why it didn't pop up. Should have popped up, but my apologies for that.
Locking gear.
Jump inside the aircraft here. Let's get ready. Should have probably shown you guys the departure here. I apologize here. We're on the whammy 4 RNAV departure out of Portland. This is basically how it looks. We're going to go runway heading, and then it's a small little right turn heading 284 over to Kelly. And then sort of loop ourselves out, and we're going towards the Kimberley VOR. Pretty straightforward, pretty standard. The winds are 280 at 9, visibility 10. It's 21 degrees, few clouds at 25,000 feet, now altimeter 299.5. Quick edit push. So I like the quick edit push here, because I can kind of set what I want. I don't know how you guys push back, but I like to edit my own pushbacks. And we'll just sneak her over to the line a little bit. Beautiful. And we'll just take her back. Beautiful, that's it.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing
Parking
push.
brakes coming off.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Engine number 1 over to the start position. Gotta say, the delivery for the 737s look pretty good. Oh, all over the place here. Engine number 2.
Please set parking brakes. Unlocking gear.
Not sure what all that banging was. That could have been our nose gear slamming down from the pushback there. There's a little Hawaiian. That might be an A330. I didn't know Hawaiian flies out to Portland. Two good engines. Come back up top here.
Tow truck disconnected.
APU coming off.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Flaps 2 coming down. He's waving at us. He's got her pinned. Let's get on out of here. Have a good trip, ladies and gents. Park and brake coming off. have a look at our taxi routing over here in Portland. So we are going to go, I think, Tango Alpha and then hold short of 28 right. So we're over here. Charlie 4, you can't see it here, Concourse C. We're going to go ahead Tango, Alpha, and we'll hold short of 28 right at Alpha 2. Parker brake off. Let's get it, ladies and gents.
Takeoff okay.
Takeoff okay. Round 2, back to Boise. If you're just tuning in, chat, this is our return leg back to Boise. I got geese up and running again. You can see it up here in the corner. 125, I believe, would have been our landing rate. It would have picked it up from the last one. But who's to say, because nothing ever popped up. It was working before I started the stream. I don't know what happened. I do stream and play the sim on the same computer. It's a possibility that doing that probably, you know, screws around with things, but whatevs. I think that's a Hawaiian 757 or something. I don't know, 767. We're looking for Alpha. We're going to go ahead and make a right turn onto Alpha. Take Alpha all the way down to the end. Recommend getting this airport, ladies and gents. It's not a bad scenery. See if I can get you guys a view of the terminal. Pretty sure the scenery is done by I Blue Yonder or something like that. Flightbeam Studios, I know, pretty sure they're the ones that sell it, but I don't think they are the original developers of this airport. This is not Flightbeam, if I'm not mistaken. I Blue Yonder, I'm pretty sure is the dev. Again, not bad scenery. I wish streamers would kind of showcase it a bit more. Looks like you could see, I think that's Mount Hood out there in the distance. Flew right beside it on the approach into Portland. You gotta be on the brakes on this aircraft as you're barreling down the taxiway. This thing loves to just run away. This leg is about 50 minutes, so it is shorter than the previous leg there. You can see the difference with frame gen and without. Sim just stutters, complete stutter fest. That happens when I'm panning from one monitor to the other. But yes, it's our return leg, I believe. So the plan for this weekend, I believe I'm going to be streaming on Sunday. I initially was going to go down to Montreal on Sunday for the F1 Canadian Grand Prix. I'm into F1. I love F1. It's watching more than anything else. So it's sort of a game time decision for me if I do not decide to go, because I know it's supposed to be thunderstorming. And I'm not planning on spending $1,000 to go to Montreal to watch the F1 Grand Prix in Montreal. If it's going to thunderstorm and rain, I think that's just a waste of money. So if it rains and I don't go, there will be a stream on Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think 1800 Zulu. Don't have a flight figured out yet. I'll decide tonight. We'll see a post probably sometime around midnight if I decide to throw it a live stream. It'll be probably somewhere in North America. We're not going to hop over to Europe or anything like that. But most likely Sunday stream. We'll get 2 streams out in a week. This is Alpha 2 here. We'll hold short. Go ahead and get all of our stuff on, ladies and gents. Going on, Mr. Moo? Welcome to the chat, baby. How are you? We're here. We're out here, buddy. We're doing it. What's going on, man? How's things, man? Long time. By the way, we're flying Portland to Boise, Idaho. But yeah, we're out here, buddy. We're out here. This is the second live stream on the channel. We did one last Sunday, more like a test stream. Not too much, brother. Not too much. Just my day off, you know. It's my day off. How's things, man? Long time. Yeah, good, buddy. Good. Just work's slowed down now. Family's good, buddy. Thanks for asking, man. How's things with you, buddy? Appreciate it, my man. Appreciate it. Ladies and gents, throttle's up 40%. Let's get this bird in the air, shall we? And toga. Knots check.
V1. Rotate.
And rotate. Positive rate of climb. Gear is going up. Flight level change. Start off that little right turn there. So yeah, without the custom FMC, you can see that there's some limitations here with how this aircraft wants to fly this approach, or this departure. Let's go ahead, flaps 1, get that speed up. 210 knots. We'll go flaps clean. Flight director doing some weird shit. So okay. We're following it. Let's get that speed up. 250 knots. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get her out of here. Let's get a little wing shot view here. Bam. Oh. Orgasmic. Let's get back in here. Flight director doing some weird shit again. We're just following flight directors, ladies and gents. I understand the flight plan looks a little chopped up here. This is the limitations with having the default Asobo FMC. I was flying on FlightSim yesterday, and the tower was kind of giving me shit for how I was flying this departure. But unfortunately, you know, it's limitations, right? It's all limitations with the FMC. Anyway, let's go ahead and kick on the autopilot. Let's come back upstairs. Bam. Let's go ahead. Have a look at some wing shots here. Go ahead and get some of the sounds down here. Kids are good, brother. Thanks for asking, man. How's work, man? Oh, you answered that. Sorry, brother. So far, so good. Trained from home today and finished not too long ago. I don't work weekends, so I'm sipping a cold brewski. Hey, all the best, buddy. Yeah, I quit work, man. I'm doing this now, full time. Appreciate you, nice it. Great takeoff, sir. Yeah, man, this is this opens up a whole different level of I guess, you know, when it comes to your channel and promoting your channel, this just opens up everything else, right? So live streaming, I highly recommend it. I know your wife is doing the Twitch thing with I forget what game she's playing, but I'm telling you, man, just, you know, if it's something she really wants to do, you got to push her to do it. Tell her not to be shy. It's going to take some time. You know, I've been doing this YouTube thing for a year and a half. You know, I got 1,200 subs. I'm very grateful for that, right? So everything takes time, right? We jump back inside here, and yeah, we're climbing out of here. Coming up on 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead. Kill off our lights here. Crank that speed up to 290. Beautiful little departure out of Portland. 50 minutes airtime. Should be in Boise within the hour. I'm only doing 2 legs today. It's not a full, not really a full day of streaming. A couple hours is more than enough for me. I got kids to pick up from school and stuff, so. Oh wow, all your comments are coming in right now, brother. No, I didn't quit. I'm kidding. Buddy, I'm not there yet, man. I'm not there yet. I can't quit doing turn wrenches for this yet, man. This is, I don't even know if this would be a career. This is just something I kind of do for fun, right? Yeah, Jared's in here, brother. Smooth takeoff. I know, right? I don't think, I mean, it's been a while since we sort of played Call of Duty, right? I don't think he remembers who Mr. Moo is, but then again, Jared, you're an asshole. You should have seen him. You should have said hi. Come on, man. Fucking Jared. No, I'm kidding. Love y'all. Love you both. And Peter. For those of you who are watching the stream, I got a bunch of colleagues here in the comments. They're shouting me out. Good friends right there, you know? Friends are out here supporting the channel. No, man, I didn't quit, buddy. Are you crazy? Fuck, I gotta, you know, I'm a single income family pretty much. You know what I mean? I pay everything, so I need to keep working. Yes, the Car 98 is back. I was watching Z-Laner. He was playing when it came out, when that update dropped, and he didn't have the gun fully loaded up, or not fully loaded up, fully ranked up. And one of the stream snipers dropped him one, and they were kind of chatting in the solo big map match. And buddy, he was fucking picking people off like crazy. It was crazy to see, crazy to see. Jared, you're not an asshole, buddy. Fucking love you. Gotta get back on the COD flex, man. It's been a minute. I haven't played Call of Duty, I think, all year. It's been a hot minute. Hey, Mr. Moo, are you and the wife all settled in now? In your new home? Jared is a-hole for sure. Peter T. Thanks for dropping the comment. Jared, you're an a-hole. I can't tell if that's Nizit. Is that your second account, Nizit? Who's Peter T? Who's that? Coming up on 18,000 feet. We'll go ahead, standard pressure. Set that off. Jared, you're making some friends here in the chat, buddy. I'm his brother. Oh. So I mean, that makes you my son then, because Jared's my son. I have a long-lost son that I guess I've never met before. Got our keys about 3 weeks ago. Last Saturday was our first official big move. Fridge, table, and chairs, couch, laundry machines, etc. We're slowly doing more moves over the weekends, but not fully moved in. Got you, brother. Got you. That'll be a new beginning for both of you, so I'm excited for both of you to be out there. Now, let me ask you. How's that drive? That's a long-ass drive to and from work, you know what I mean? It's good, man. 1.5 hours from Milton to the house. That's... holy smokes. Traffic ain't that great on the 401 anyways, so totally understand it. But how often you got to go to the office? Yeah, that's good, man. Save you from having to make that trek, I guess, right? Gonna go ahead and throw on some music. Let me know in the comments if the music is too loud or too low. I'm trying to sort of fine-tune my settings here. Ladies and gents, we're climbing up to 35,000 feet here. As we're passing by Mount Hood. Coming up into the desert-ish type scenery here. It's pretty cool. So you can actually see this when you're traveling across the United States to the western part. I've done this drive, not to Portland, but I've driven to Los Angeles from Toronto, and yeah, it's a boring drive up until you hit Texas and going into New Mexico. That's where all the terrain changes and it gets all deserty. So cool. So cool. Welcome everybody to the live stream here. If you're just tuning in, we are on our final leg back to Boise. So it's a return flight from Portland back to Boise, Idaho. Real world flight flown by SkyWest in the E175. Wow, look at that terrain down below. Crazy. The capabilities of this simulator is unmatched, in my opinion. Unmatched. Second live stream here on the channel. Coming up on 30,000 feet here. We still got some ways to go. This aircraft does not have VNAV. There's no VNAV equipped. I like to descend using a glide path angle of 3 degrees. So there are some basic calculations you need to do in order to achieve this. So once we're about 50 miles from Devil, that's when we're going to start our descent down. We want to start our descent about 88 miles from one of our waypoints. And then I like to add another 10 miles on there just to get the aircraft to slow down. So be right back, ladies and gents. Going upstairs to grab a drink. Be back in a couple minutes. Enjoy the music.
eyes now. You got things to prove. I'm not playing, I'm not hard to get.
You're enjoying the music, ladies and gents. Smash down that thumbs up button. Epidemic Sounds or SoundCloud. Loving this music. Copyrighted free music. It's great to have for any type of streaming. Whatever you're streaming, doesn't matter. Some great tunes as well. What's up, Jared? You liking the music, buddy? I apologize if the music's too loud. I'll have to play back this stream once it's over, just to see and compare the volumes and just make sure, you know, volume's not too crazy for you guys. Jump inside the cockpit. Let's see where we're at here. Yeah, we're coming up on top of this. We're coming up on top of climb. Looking beautiful. We're passing the Kimberly VOR right now, about 20 miles out. And barrel still showing 310 there. We'll check the barrel later. Alright, brother, thank you. I appreciate it. So basically, I picked a pretty decent playlist. I don't know if it's FlightSim appropriate, but a little background music, you know, can't ever hurt. Can't play any Spotify, otherwise I'm going to get in trouble. So I don't want to have to deal with that. Don't forget to smash down that thumbs up button, ladies and gents. I was only asking for 10 likes. We got 12 likes currently. We've surpassed the number of likes. I want to thank everybody who has come out to support the channel today. Greatly appreciate it. Stream number 2. We're shooting for stream number 3 come Sunday. Game time decision. Might be heading out to Montreal for the F1 Grand Prix weekend. Still undecided. Still undecided, so if not, we're doing a flight for sure. Don't know where yet. Haven't decided. See what the aircraft's doing here. Alright, so we're about 60 miles out from top of descent, so in about 7 minutes time we will start descending down into Boise. For the meantime, let's enjoy the views. and music. What's going on, Chris? Welcome back to the chat. Love the wing view. Appreciate it, my man. I gotta say though, it all depends on sort of where you're flying, because you know, with this type of terrain, shit, homie, you can be in any airplane and have a great wing view. Just gonna go open up the Navigraph charts here, have a look at the weather information in Boise. The winds are 250 at 5, so maybe we're not gonna land on runway 10. Maybe we're not gonna land on runway 10, ladies and gents. Let me just see. Planes are still landing on runway 10. Even though the winds are favoring the other side, that's okay. We're gonna give her a go. Where are you thinking of flying, Chris? I'm thinking of doing a stream on Sunday in the Caribbean as well. Probably some envoy ops out of Miami or something. We'll head down to, I don't know. I'll have to look and see. Can never go wrong with flying in the Caribbean, my man. Can never go wrong. That would be awesome, Chris. Punta Cana or Turks? Providenciales, I think, is the airport you fly into Turks. Beautiful. I always say Turks and Caicos has the best water in the world. Best water in the world. Punta Cana, I know there is some scenery out there. I think it's done by Tropical... hold on a sec here. Who is the developer for Punta Cana? Tropical Sim, that's it. I'll be honest, Chris. Yeah, Jamaica is always beautiful. As a matter of fact, I haven't flown to Jamaica yet on the channel. I've been meaning to fly into Montego Bay, but just never got around to it. I do have some Kingston scenery, but Punta Cana, I just want to talk about it. Tropical Sim, they've developed Punta Cana, and I've kind of steered away from Tropical Sim only because they feel the need to charge for any time that they update their scenery. And they want to charge a crazy amount of money. Gonna go ahead. So we're about 20 miles from top of descent here. I'm gonna go ahead and tune in some landing info. The wind's at 250 at 5. 102 is the final approach course. It's 29 degrees. Beautiful. So another thing I can do here is I can plug in our ILS frequency 111.1. Beautiful. Come back here. The minimums are 3,036 feet, ladies and gents. High up here. Elevation is about 2,800 feet in Boise. $10 miles until top of descent. I'm gonna go ahead and pause our music. Turn up the rest of the volume here. And we will be descending down to 6,000 feet. So I'm actually going to go ahead and select 6,000. We'll start our descent right now. FPA, we're going to go at 3 degrees. Beautiful. Let's open up Navigraph. Let's have a look at our arrival into Boise. So we are on the key and 4-hour nav arrival. We're expecting the ILS Yankee runways 10 right approach. This is sort of the, we're about 50 miles from Devil right now. We got to be above 16,000 at Devil. Hopefully my calculations were decent, but we don't have any big mountain areas around here. So even if we're just below that, we'll be fine for the approach. We're doing the Jimmy approach transition. We're going to be, it says here, above 6,000 feet. Landing runways 10 left and right. Expect assigned approach or radar vectors to final approach course, which is this. So from Jimmy, which is going to be right here, we'll get ourselves established onto final. Pretty straightforward. The winds are 250 at 5. Visibility 10. Temperature is 29. Altimeter 299.0. And there's no real speed and altitude restraints, so we're gonna key in. I believe we got to be above 8,000 at 250, but and Jimmy 210. So we're gonna hand fly this bird. I picked it up over Christmas when they had a sale on Sim Market, and it's a nice rendition of Punta. Yeah, that's so. I do have some tropical sim scenery, and I've only ever picked it up when it's on sale. But they kind of threw me for a loop, man. When they decided to update their airport, you know, they wanted to charge, I think, like an additional €13 for their V2 version, and that really pissed me off because I don't see, you know, I understand what it takes to develop scenery and to update them and things like that. I can't see charging, like if you buy it on sale, you're probably paying about €13. You know what I mean? So I can't, I don't see the need to, you know, charge that much, especially for people that have already purchased scenery. Or, I mean, if you're gonna, you know, charge for an updated scenery, maybe not, you know, sell it at €13. It's a lot of money. It's not cheap, right? €13 can get you some pretty good scenery. Let alone, you know, paying for an update, right? But yes, I have a lot of tropical sim scenery. They did a lot of Caribbean scenery, so they were one of the first developers out there, I believe, from 2020 or 2021. Let's go ahead and set our course here. 102 is the final approach course. Go ahead and do the stuff now before I get myself caught up in a sticky situation. Beautiful. And you can see the terrain out here is absolutely phenomenal. I wonder what these things are here. If anybody in the chat knows what those are, they can't just be farm field. That has to be something. We've seen it on the departure. Started buying their products in the early 2000s when I had FS 2020. Oh, Chris, you're an OG flight simmer. Yeah, a lot of people that have been simming for quite some time were commenting about tropical sims, I guess, level of detail, and they compared a lot of it to the older flight sim days. So and I didn't necessarily agree with some of the opinions that people had. I still think tropical sim is decent, right? It's not bad scenery. I think their scenery is probably priced exactly where I would price it. Now, back in the early 2000s, whenever they updated scenery, did they charge for it? Got you. Now let me ask you, as an OG flight simmer, take me back to the days of, I guess, FS 2002. What was flight simming like? I've seen videos. Somebody had posted a video of the, I guess, the different generations of flight sim, and I have to say, I guess for its time, it must have been pretty cool flying back in those days, huh? Now, I'll tell you, had I gotten into flight simming and aviation probably about, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, I probably would have been a pilot, not a mechanic. Probably would have been a pilot. Coming up on trans level here, we're going to go ahead. We'll sync our altimeter 29990. was a joy, really fun, especially when we had SkyWorld for online ATC. That was some glory days. I could tell you stories. I guess that's sort of where it all started, eh? That's pretty cool, man. Are you into like any fighter jets or anything like that? You were one of the first to get the PMDG 737. So, are you saying back in the FS 2002 days, you were one of the first to get the PMDG 737? See, I didn't even know, PMDG was even around back in those times. You remember Fly Tampa's first scenery ever. Oh, wow. So some of these bigger players are some of the original OGs. You can tell, too, by the quality of scenery and aircraft that they put out. They must know their shit, right? That's crazy. Well, it goes to show, I guess, sort of their loyalty and commitment to the flight sim community if they're still putting out high-quality stuff and people are still buying it. That goes a long way with the products that you put out. I've even seen some, some old stuff from the from the mid-2000s, late 2000s of some scenery and aircraft. And the quality, during those times is pretty unmatched. What's going on, Sabrina? Welcome to the chat. Everybody, Sabrina's my sister. You're not working today, Sabrina? Up on 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and get our lights on. We're coming up on Kean, where we're going to be at 250 knots and above 8,000. I'm pretty sure we're going to manage all of that. We're 34 miles out from the airport. Concorde was a default aircraft for FS 2000. Have you bought the Concorde in Microsoft Flight Sim? And if so, do you like it? I have no interest on flying the Concorde, to be honest with you. No interest. Cool story behind it. I like... I kind of wish they were still around, but not an aircraft I'm interested in flying. You're on break. They let you take breaks over there? Got the airport out here somewhere. Maybe over here. You have the Concorde. Barks Down. Wait, what? Barks Down Ski Hockey. Welcome to the chat. If you're coming out, I have the Concorde. $40 for that piece of junk. Do not buy. It's terrible. Yeah, not for me, brother. Not for me. Like I said, I like the idea of it. I like the history of it. Just not an aircraft I want to buy. Coming up on the approach here, so we are direct Jimmy. We got to be above 6,000 feet at 210 knots. The aircraft is starting to slow down to it right now. From Jimmy, looks like we're going to be about 10 miles out. I could probably flick on the approach mode and we'll get ourselves all configured for the ILS. 111.1, beautiful, looking good. Coming up on 6,000 feet right now. You had the Concorde for P3D, version 3 from FS Labs. Interesting. So, Bart Downsky, who developed the Concorde in the simulator? I don't know what the aircraft is doing right now. Let's go heading mode. Some limitations with this aircraft in the sim. Sometimes on the approach, it kind of has a mind on its own. We're going to go heading mode. We got to be heading 132. Let's go ahead, 132. Down to 6,000 feet for Jimmy. It's going to start getting a little bit spicy here, ladies and gents. Let's go ahead and we'll tune. Oh, we're not ready for the ILS. It hasn't come up yet. Usually about 15 miles out, it'll come up. But we got to be at 6,000. From there, looks like we're going down to 4,400 or 4,100. So we can actually, I'll plug in 4,100. Hopefully, localizer and glide slope will come up. There it is. I'm going to go ahead, VL mode. We're going to go Loc 1 approach mode. We'll let the aircraft do its own thing there. Penny's doing good. She's sleeping right now. She said, thanks for asking. She is my, she's my FO on all my flights. If I had a camera, I'd show you. She's laying down right beside me. So, approach mode's on. We're waiting for Loc to, yeah, it's a little backwards at the moment. This will flip over once Loc captures. This is just some limitations. Glide slope is coming alive here. I'm going to start, we'll start descending again. Go down at about 1 degree, 1.5 degrees. We're going to go flaps 1, speed 190. Looks like Loc is captured. And glide slope should be capturing momentarily. We'll go flaps to 170 on speed. Missed approach, climb to 3,300, then climb right turn to 7,300 outbound. So we're going to go 7,300. Glide slope is captured. Sync our heading, so 7,300. Flaps 3, gear coming down. Come upstairs here. Let's get the rest of our lights on. So 160 on the speed. And I think our final approach is 133 plus 5, so we're going to go 138. We're going to go flaps 4, 150 on the speed. And And then we're going to go 138 for flaps 5. All right, we got gear down 3 green. Flaps 5 is set. Go upstairs and make sure everything is doing what it needs to be doing. Beautiful. Fantastic, looking good. Airport right in front of us. I had an interview Tuesday for a different position. Very nice. Hope you get it. This is my new job. I quit working as a mechanic, so I'm doing this full time now. Kidding, I'm not actually crazy. All right, ladies and gents.
1,000.
Enjoy the arrival, my aircraft. Hopefully this time we'll get a landing rate. We're all counting on me. Don't call me Shirley. I appreciate it, Chris. I don't want to fuck this up. No pressure. Glide's looking good. We're looking stable. You know, the winds are doing what the winds need to do, you know. We're getting blown around. No pressure for the old man. No pressure.
500. 400.
Glide's looking good. I don't see poppies anywhere.
200. Minimums.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Reversers coming out. $60 knots. Ladies and gents, welcome back to Boise.
Auto brake.
And we're gonna go ahead and make this left here. That got a little spicy. Coming back up top. Not used to people, you know, flying and landing and people watching, you know. Beautiful, ladies and gents. Welcome back to Boise. The aircraft started doing some weird shit there. Go ahead, clean up the flaps. What do we want? I think we want the Charlie gates. Charlie 6. No. And we are SkyWest. And we're going to cross 10 left. Beautiful. Thank you, Ivan. Welcome back to Boise. Pretty stable approach. I'm like Captain Canada, you know, I really critique my landings. And I think I'm going right here. Should probably get that APU going, shall I? Hope we can see the GSX packs and the E-Jets soon. Yeah, I don't know. I believe GSX, they've just updated passengers or some shit like that, right? Am I not mistaken? We're back where we started, ladies and gents. Sounds like that APU is on and healthy. Parking brake is coming on. I think the APU is on. APU is on. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and kill.
The boarding requested.
The engines. Request a deboarding. Taxi light should have been off. No jetways here. Yes, yes, yes. I'm opening the doors. My goodness. Oh, it's only up for the Phoenix. Ah, okay. See, I didn't read all of the release notes. Every time I come into this camera view, the thing's always sideways. Just go ahead and reset that.
Passengers, the boarding started.
Passengers, the boarding started, but there's no stairs on the other side. I just seen that. But anyways, yeah, hopefully soon, man. I mean, thank God for GSX. I love the program. Pretty good program. Now let me ask you, when you checked out the GSX update, can you actually hear like cabin ambience? Was that included, or is it just visual? Thank you, Sabrina. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. I think if you're working, I don't know, but I'm going to come into Maz tomorrow with the kid. This is yes, there are sounds. Okay, that's pretty cool then. That's pretty cool. But anyways, ladies and gents, thank you for coming out today. Checking out the stream. I greatly appreciate it. If I don't go to Montreal on Sunday, we're going to be doing another flight on Sunday around 1 p.m. Eastern. I don't have an idea as to what and where we're flying to, but I'll have that sorted out.
Do you want to deboard crew?
Definitely before tomorrow morning. So probably I would say 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at the very least. There'll be a notification if we are doing another stream. It is F1 weekend in Canada. It's I normally go to F1 in Canada when it's here. Problem is I didn't get tickets, and it's supposed to thunderstorm on Sunday. Race day is Sunday, so I don't know if I'm going to go. If it's going to thunderstorm, I'm not going. So I'm going to check the weather tonight, and if it hasn't changed, we're not going. But anyways, ladies and gents, I'll catch y'all in the next stream. Thank you for coming out. Peace and love. Peace!